Despite actually being really close to release, it's coming out in just over a month now. We still don't know too much about Paralives. They've released 2 gameplay trailers. The latter gameplay trailer was mostly just set dressing and them kind of setting up the scene of how the game would look. But then the first trailer went over things in a bit more detail, and they went over some things like group interactions, basics of social interactions, basic needs. It revealed a fair bit of information, but not everything I think we need to know before Paralives is coming out. Obviously, their Patreon members know more than the general public, but in general, they've still been quite secretive, actually. However, they have recently uploaded a trailer going over their creator para mode, and at first I was like, oh, I'm not going to make a video on this because it's just them going over clothing and stuff, but actually, they have revealed a lot about live mode and gameplay in this, so I'm really excited to give it a look. This is my blind reaction today with you guys. So before we've even started the trailer, I just want to take a look at the bottom right, and underneath the name it's got age. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different life stages in this game, which is actually insane. I was not expecting there to be 8. I'm just curious how it's going to work with that many age groups. I genuinely didn't know that's what they were doing. I feel like I've been living under a rock maybe. And they're showing off the body types in some of the presets here, which look really realistic actually, despite the cartoony art style. I know, okay, you guys don't like the art style. A lot of you guys don't. I love it. I love the way that they contrast with the background. I love the etched lines on them. I just think this is perfect graphics for me. Like, this is best case scenario. Another thing as well, people were talking about a lack of diversity, which we will go into more detail later, but just to note now, it looks like there's a lot of skin tones, and it looks like you can create a custom skin tone. So that's great. The start of this just goes over some clothing at first, and you can see some of them have a cog on them, which I'm assuming means that you can edit these in any way that you like. The video is actually going like really fast, perhaps a little bit too fast for my liking because it makes it really difficult to slow it down. But it looks like you can change the colors of different clothes and things. Look at all the hairstyle colors, the preset ones, and then obviously you'll be able to add your own custom ones too. They've got different kind of eye presets, and you can see in the top right, it's not a drag and drop system like the Sims 4, because did you know that EA actually have a patent on that, which is why Paralives can't do it. So instead you've got to use this old school scroll thing here on the top right in order to change their appearance. But honestly, I think it's in many ways actually a lot better, because I think you can go in finer detail, because with the Sims drag and drop system, you don't always know what you're clicking, if that makes sense, whereas with this it's kind of obvious. So I think there are pros and cons to both, honestly. And it looks like, yeah, there's so many different kinds of presets. I'm hoping you'll be able to save your own or import modded ones like the face presets, because as you can see, there aren't many face presets here. On the subject of diversity, I think you can clearly tell different ethnic groups from this, which I think is good. I'm just really impressed, I think, by the what are we calling it? Creator para mode? Paramaker, that's what it's called. My apologies. And it does also come with color wheel slider like we had in The Sims 3. So you can see with the shoes at the bottom, we've got color 1, 2, 3, and then sole and lace. So you can customize the shoes in any way that you like, thank God. I'm just hoping that there are I need to go back and double check. I'm just hoping that there are a sufficient amount of presets. Yeah, there are. So you can see the different color swatches. So if you don't want to make your own, it looks like there's some set ones and you can create your own. Also, what do you guys feel about the UI of the Paramaker? I think it's ugly. I'm sorry. I don't really like on the left how it looks like scrapbooky. I just personally think it looks a bit weird, but that's just me. Maybe I just need to get used to it. I just don't. Oh gosh, jump scare. It reminds me of that time where I tried to make a CC version of my own face and import it into The Sims 4. That is a little bit scary. What are we doing here? Adding moles. Oh gosh, can we just watch that again? Because that is a bit, do you know what I mean? That's a bit creepy. I don't think I like that at all. No, I don't. So they're showing off you can change the colors of skin marks and things, of blush, changing the eyes and the makeup and stuff, changing tattoos, putting them anywhere. And don't you just find it funny how like in The Sims 4, they're like, tattoos, if you purchase the brand new Sims 4 Businesses and No Hobbies pack, whereas here, they just come with them and you can place them anywhere that you want to, which is really, really cool. You can customize them in any way that you like, unlike The Sims 4, which is is really cool. And then, okay, this is where I want to look in a bit more detail because this is where they go over personality. So firstly, we've got physique, mind, creativity, and charisma. It kind of reminds me of like The Sims 1, the way you have these 4 things, which is interesting. I also think it's very limited, to be honest. And I still don't totally get what they mean. I'm assuming it's to do with hobbies and interests in life. So sim with high physique will like going to the gym. A sim with mind will like reading. A creativity I'm saying sim, para. A creativity para would like art and music, and charisma like socializing. So I'm assuming that they relate to not hobbies, but kind of like hobbies, if you know what I mean, the kind of interests that they have in life. I'm assuming that's what it is rather than personality. And then we've got their vibe. So this is more akin to personality: an overjoyed person, a gloomy person, an energetic person, serious, or a jester, which makes a lot of sense. And they could always add more of these in the future if they wanted to. So they could do a moody person, which I guess is different to serious. They could do, I don't know, a horny person. So I'm assuming this represents like how they perceive and go about the world around them. Perhaps a gloomy para is more likely to want to have miserable conversations with other paras and maybe put them in a depressed mood. I'm assuming that's what it means. Or a jester is more likely to joke around with other people. Maybe a jester and a gloomy para will not get along because they're just going to be very different. Definitely jester and serious at opposite ends of the spectrum. So right now it's very simple, but obviously it is subject to change as it's in early access, and it is subject that there may be even more. So we've then got social perks, which I think is really interesting. So some paras are good at being alone, others are good at making friends, good at taking care of others, good at romantic relationships, and good at cooperation. So this is where you choose your social perk, which I think is really interesting because in The Sims 4, okay, you choose one of 3 traits, and like all of this stuff like vibes, social perks, talents, physique, mind, creativity, charisma, lifestyles, they all kind of merge into one thing, and you can only pick between 3 of them, whereas this one separates them and it forces you to choose one of each, which I really like. So it forces you to choose how they socialize, which I really, really like. I think it makes for maybe some unique paras. I kind of like that it's simple. I honestly think with personality, the simpler the better. With The Sims 4, there's like how many traits now? Like honestly up to 50 plus traits in the game, and I feel like none of them even change the personalities of anyone, whereas these look like they have the potential to. They went over it quite quickly, but we've also got something called talents. So we've got jack of all trades, music, fitness, food technology, visual arts, and good at nothing. So this is interesting, and I'm really confused. Like I don't know what the difference is between physique and also fitness. I don't know how they're going to be separate from each other, if you know what I mean. But I guess this is more about hobbies and the kind of thing that you're talented at. So you could make this para, you know, really, really good at technology. So I'm assuming that they do better off with computers. I'm assuming what this means is you're more likely to raise that specific skill faster than the others. Whereas a jack of all trades meaning they're all on the same level. Good at nothing means they're all bad on the same level. I'm just assuming that's what it means, okay? But I think it's really interesting. Then we've also got cleaning habits as well. Are they normal, sloppy, or neat? So again, unlike The Sims 4 where you've just got 3 traits, you basically have to choose with Paralives with these. And I feel like it's so simple, yet it gives them more personality at the same time. Obviously we have to see it in gameplay, because in gameplay it could be wank. It could have absolutely no impact in gameplay. So we have to wait and see. But taking a look at cap mode, whatever the fuck it's called, parafucker, what am I talking about? Parafucker. I need to sleep. I had 4 hours sleep last night. No, I didn't. I had 3. That's why I'm saying parafucker instead of paramaker. And then obviously you choose sleeping habit. They went over sleeping habits so far, so I won't even be able to go over it. But it's like normal, early bird, or night owl. They're making another person here, which is really, really cool. So they're just going over the different kinds of things that you can create in Paramaker mode. I do think it looks really detailed, and it looks like you can create a mixture of a huge variety of people. This is something that I've said in the past. Like I was really impressed at the variety of characters that they've made before, showing from their screenshots. I also really like the hairs. I think they have a really, really wide selection of hairs, which is absolutely fantastic. So that's really, really pleasing to me, all the different stuff. It does look like very complicated, some of it. I don't know if you're seeing on the right. I'm trying to find like a screen grab of it, but it's kind of difficult. But there's like this 3D mesh thing that's showing up, and I'm not exactly sure what it is. Like all these arrows that confusing enough. But then, oh my gosh, this is not making it very easy for me, is it? I can't even change the playback speed. Come on, YouTube. Are you guys seeing what I mean? Like this weird, like 3D, yeah, this thing, like what on earth is this? Why does it look different from the other bit? It's not really a vibe, is it? So it looks, yeah, really confusing. I'm really hoping we get more presets, or you'll be able to share presets. We have to wait and see on that one because I'm not quite sure. In terms of outfits, it says casual work, sport and pajama. It did say in the initial early access reveal that we would not be able to change outfits. You would only be able to create one. So I don't know if they've updated that now, because I'm pretty sure they said before that on the initial release, you'll only be able to make one outfit. So I don't know if they've just gone back on that. Something else that I would like to look at too is the top right, all of the different icons and what they mean. I couldn't tell you what this top one is where my mouse is. It looks like a fucking mermaid. This one looks like the gallery. So I'm assuming that's where you can upload and share things with other people, because it looks, oh no, it looks like a picture frame. So maybe it's a screenshot mode. That sounds like it could be viable. And then this one, this one looks like people holding hands. So maybe that's sharing, or maybe that's editing relationships. The book thing looks like a tutorial, I'm assuming, lessons. Then we've got randomized para, and then we've got setting up the family tree. I'm assuming what that is. Then we've got here up and down. So is this likes and dislikes? I wonder what that could honestly be. We've then got this heart, which has got like is that the TikTok icon? I don't know, like something to do with music. And then we've got this one, which is that to do with playing the next track? I don't quite know. And then we've got your inbox and settings. So I think that's telling. In terms of the UI on the right, the left-hand side rather, it's very, very simple. You've got designing the para, you've got their clothes, and you've got their personality. The comments as well, honestly, just look so perfect. Like somebody said, thank God there are visible sliders with numbers on. That's going to be so useful. Like, yeah, I just feel like the Sims way, when they first released the Sims 4, I think it was really like iconic that you're able to morph the face around. But actually, I think it's a little bit annoying, and it almost feels a bit outdated. Even when I was playing with Inzoi, honestly, I found it really, really hard to make a unique looking character because it doesn't have sliders in the same way. I do definitely like the idea of having sliders. Someone says the art style is so perfect. I love how it's evolved over time. It matches so well with the environment. I couldn't agree more. Everyone's just being really lovely. I'm really hoping the toxic Sims community doesn't ruin Paralives. I truly am hoping so, because it just feels like such a vibe. Now, to address the diversity thing that people are concerned about, because I said before that I would speak about it, honestly, I'm not totally sure what people are talking about when they're complaining about it, because taking a look at all of the trailers, not just the one that we saw today, I think there's been a really wide variety of paras that they've made which clearly look very distinct from each other, and you are limited by the art style, but it looks like you can create any kind of real world person enough. For example, they showed off that you can make somebody of pretty much any ethnicity, and honestly that's something that I think The Sims 4 struggles with, because this has honestly been an issue ever since The Sims 1. All Sims look the same. It's the same with Sims 2 and 3. Sims 3 Sims all look like potatoes, and Sims 4 Sims, they all got that, I don't know, like that Wallace and Gromit look to their face. Do you know what I mean? Whatever ethnicity you try and make them, they all end up looking the same. And honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of the skin colors in The Sims 4. I feel like they're all just a little bit off in some way. I don't know how to put my finger on it. I don't know if it's the tint, like the green violet tint. I don't know what it is, but I just find it actually quite hard in The Sims 4 to make Sims that truly look unique. Whereas in Paralives, it looks like you can genuinely create a really wide variety of people. Obviously, it's not out yet, so we don't know. We'll have to play it first. But I think it's important not to jump the gun with being overly concerned when they've already shown off diversity. And they've also mentioned before how it's important to them. And I'm sure they're really glad to hear people's feedback about it when it is out, and if there are any issues, I'm sure they will make it one of their priorities to resolve it so the game feels more inclusive. So I don't think people have any issues to worry about at all, because the Paralives team are Canadian, like they are so fucking woke. I've also seen some people sharing concerns that it doesn't feel enough like The Sims 4. I think it's weird because The Sims 4 is the only live sim game out right now, so it's like people have nothing else to compare to, and I think a lot of people, they almost expect expect Paralives to be a copy of The Sims, which is not going to be at all. Like, it's a small indie title. It's going to feel basic compared to The Sims. I think that's definitely a part of its charm, and I definitely think people should be kinder to Paralives than they were to The Sims when it first came out. Because The Sims, I can't remember the exact price, but The Sims 4, when it first came out in the UK 10 years ago, I'm pretty sure it cost £49.99, £50. And if you consider like inflation in the economy back then, that's a lot more money these days. Like, it was so expensive, and you were basically paying for an early access title before the concept of early access was even a thing. And it's taken them 10 years and they still haven't even got out of their early access, really, have they? Whereas Paralives is an indie game, it's very small, so I'm hoping people are nicer to it. It almost reminds me a bit of Stardew Valley, because Stardew Valley was just made solely to be like a good game, and I feel like Paralives is going down that path of it's simply just being made in order to be a good game, and I just really like that. I just feel really positive vibes about Paralives, and I'm very excited for it. I think when it first was announced, everyone was really skeptical. There were even people saying that it might be a scam, and honestly, there have been so many life sim scams and life sim games that have been dropped suspiciously after people have been donating on Patreon and things. I will be making a video essay on Viva Land soon, don't you worry, I'm coming for you. But I think they've shown to prove themselves, and it's just really fantastic. If you're interested in any other simulation games, cozy games that are not The Sims, then check out this video here. Town to City is probably the best cozy simulation game I played all year, actually. Thank you very much for watching this video. I will see you in the next one.